Now Rintaro is thinking, I never thought people like Wager even exist. She told me right to my face that she is not afraid of me, and she is so innocent and pure that without even knowing her, I can tell she never lies. She was a regular customer at my mom's shop, but I never thought that she is actually a high school student. Out of the entire Japan, did she really end up in just this school? Now the scene cuts to Osami, who is very frustrated. He says, I can't take this anymore. Things are getting out of hand now. Rintaro asks, what happened now? Then Samo bursts out at him, how can you even ask such a question? You should understand. The reason behind this is the school itself. Do you even know the way they stare at me? Whether I pass by their side or right in front of them, whether I talk to them or not, they look at me as if I have committed some huge crime. Yes, I admit that I am from Chidori School. But by doing that, did I really commit a crime? Because of this school, not a single girl even gives me any attention. Just then, his other two friends also arrive, Saku and Ayato. Saku says, you know, right? No other school was even ready to give you admission, so you should be happy that at least Chidori School admitted you. Then Saku says to Sami, but why are you so irritated today? Usami replies, that's very easy for you to say because you are very popular in school. But Saku says, that's not true, although I am popular in Chidori School and among other girls as well. But the girls of Ki High School look at me as if I am some kind of insect. It doesn't matter how good I look, those girls will never accept us, as long as we are from Chidori School. You know very well how bad the reputation of our school is, and besides, I don't really like them either. They act as if they are the princesses of the whole Japan, and we are just their servants, who don't even have the right to wander around them. Then Osami says, yes, as if we are fire and they are water. But Saku corrects him, a better example would be oil and water. We are different, and we can never be together. And Rintaro was lost in his own world. This was not the first time that they were making fun of Kai High School, but this time it felt more personal to him, as if they were not only targeting those girls, but Wagur as well. Both of them try to ask him what happened. Then Saku says, why have you kept the curtain closed today? I have never seen you doing that before. Now, in his mind, he curses himself. He says, how could I forget that I had closed the curtain? Now these people will ask me all kinds of questions, and I must not answer them at all. Then one of the guys, just jokingly says, anyway, what beautiful views are we even going to see from that school? Defensively, he replies, yes, of course, nothing to see. I just closed it for no reason. Then Osami says, why did you become so serious? I was just joking. Then Nintaro says, the sunlight was falling on my eyes, that's why I closed it. But Saku had already understood that something was definitely wrong, because Rintaro had never closed the curtain before, no matter how strong the sunlight was. And just so they wouldn't ask more questions, he even opens the curtain. In that reflection, it is shown to us why the curtains of Ki High School were still closed. After that, no one asks him any more questions, and their class begins. But Rintaro, he was still in his own separate world. He was still looking towards Ki High School, exactly at the window from where he had seen Waguri. And in his mind, he was thinking, she was so surprised when she saw me, and on top of that, I shut the curtain right in front of her face. Poor girl must have felt so bad. What must she be thinking about me? She must surely be thinking that I am so arrogant. Now he kept staring at that curtain through the glass, and he thought, I can bet now that she will never come to our shop again. And it's better if she doesn't, because I am the fool from Chidori School, and she is the princess of Ki High School. Just like Saku said, oil and water can never be one, so it will be better for both of us to keep our distance. And anyway, once she finds out that I am from Chidori School, she will never even look at me, and that's for the best. After class ended, Osami asked him, will you come for karaoke? Rintaro first thought of refusing, but he also needed a distraction. There was no work at the shop either, so he agreed to go. Hearing this, even Osami was surprised. Well, at least now you finally agreed because you've been ignoring us for so long. But Saku was still looking at Rintaro with suspicious eyes, as if he could sense that he was hiding something. Then Saku said, did you hear these voices? What exactly is happening ahead? And they saw that all the boys of the school had gathered there, as if they had witnessed something that had never happened before. Then Osami asked one of the boys, why have you gathered such a crowd here? Did some actor or singer come? But the boy replied, even if an actor or a singer had come, such a big crowd would not have gathered. Someone is here that no one expected. And then he said, it's a girl from Kai High School. She is standing right outside our school. And then they saw that girl was none other than Waguri herself waiting for someone. Rintaro was surprised, thinking, what exactly is she doing here? The others were also surprised because girls from Ki High School usually didn't even spit in the direction of their school. but this girl was standing outside, waiting. Rintaro thought, she shouldn't be here. Why did she suddenly come here? What is she doing here? Before he could think further, he heard voices. Osami had stepped forward to intimidate Waguri and shouted, "What is a Key high school girl doing here? Don't you know this is Chidori High School?" Saku said, "This is the first time that a boy from our school has put the girls from their school down. Otherwise, they always look down on us." Now Waguri was a little nervous and said in a soft voice, "I'm waiting for someone." But Osami yelled at her even more. "Waiting for whom? And what do you have to do with Chidori High School?" Rintaro grabbed his hoodie and lifted him up using only one hand. He said, "Stop scaring her." Then he apologized to Waguri. "I apologize on his behalf." But Waguri said, "It's okay. I didn't take his words to heart." However, Osami was not backing down. He said, "Do you know what happens when a Key high school girl waits outside our school? The very girl who has looked down on us all these years." Rintaro was also surprised. He thought, this is very serious. He knows why he hates Key high school girls so much, and he won't back down easily. I hope he doesn't end up raising a hand on his own friend. But then it was revealed that Osami wasn't actually angry. He was just jealous. He said, "I hate Kai High School, but I hate even more the boy she is waiting for. Why doesn't any girl ever wait for me like that? I also want someone to wait for me in this way." Then Rintaro breathed a sigh of relief. So it was just about this. Otherwise, I thought our fight would happen today. And Osami was stubborn like a child, saying, "I also want a girlfriend who waits for me like this." Before Waguri could say anything, her two friends, Ayu and Suzuka, arrived. They asked, "What exactly are you doing here? In front of this awful school?" She said, "Let's leave quickly or we'll get into serious trouble. You know this is Chidori High School." Waguri tried to explain, "I came here on my own will. I'm fine." But before she could say anything more, her friend stopped her. "We won't hear any excuses. Get out of here quickly before any other girls see us." Then Rintaro looked back and saw the two schools facing each other. The students were standing there as if some spectacle was going on. All this drama was just because one girl had come outside our school. Then one of the girls said, "You should thank God that Hoshina hasn't seen you yet." Before she could notice, they quickly went to their classroom. But Osami stopped them, saying, "Where are you running off to? You bumped into me so hard that you hurt my jaw. Apologize quickly." But the girl didn't even apologize for her mistake, and she pulled her hand away. The two girls looked at him as if it were entirely his fault for standing in their way. And Waguri felt bad seeing this. Why are her friends treating her like this? But what could she do? She was alone, so the two girls dragged her away. Osami, in anger, said, "Remember this. One day I will definitely get my revenge." Rintaro had no words to say to him. Now Osami was walking away with a sulky face, saying, "How rude those girls are. Did you see what they did to me?" Then Saku said, "Don't act too innocent. You started this. You were the one who first went near that girl to intimidate her. Now her friends didn't come to save her, so what else could she do?" Then Osami said, "Are you with me or are you with her? She is from Key High School." She hesitated, and Rintaro walked separately at the very back. In his mind, he kept thinking, why did she come here? Could it be she came for me? But he quickly dismissed the thought. No, that's impossible. Why would she come here for me? She must be waiting for someone else. Yet if she really was waiting for him, before he could think further, Osami turned back and asked, "Why are you walking so far behind?" But seeing his face, even Osami got scared. He said, "Why are you making such strange expressions? You just gave me a heart attack." Then he added, "You look even scarier than before." Saku didn't say anything. Then it was revealed that Rintaro was actually smiling. Deep inside, he was extremely happy. Just thinking that Waguri was waiting for him, Rintaro smiled. He rarely smiles like this. Then he thought, if I go near her with this kind of smile, she'll get even more scared. So it's decided I will never meet her. Now they head to karaoke, where Osami was singing in his melodious voice. Aya was celebrating for him, clapping with joy, while Rintaro and Saku were just quietly looking for a song. Then Saku asked, "Haven't you found a song yet?" Rintaro replied, "No, I'm just looking." Saku then said, "Why do you seem so lost?" Rintaro was surprised. He had finally noticed, and now both of them realized, "Yes, you've been behaving a little differently. What are you hiding?" Saku said, "Don't worry, you can share anything with us. We won't judge you." And he knew this wasn't a small matter. This was something eating away at him from the inside. Saku wasn't wrong. Rintaro was still thinking about Waguri. But what could he do? Could he tell them everything? What he thought about Waguri and that he had known her for a long time? How would they react? He already knew their answer. Is she from Kai High School? Sorry, stay away from her. And most of all, Osami would say, if I even hear her name from your mouth, it won't be good for you. That school is our enemy. So that means that girl is also our enemy, Rintaro thought. Although I can't blame them if they think this way, because Key High School has always come at us with hostility. But still, I don't want to hear it from their mouths. I don't want them to say anything wrong about Waguri, so he lied to them. I was just thinking, if anything happens, I'll tell you. Then Saku said, if that's the case, I won't force you. But he had already realized that Rintaro was lying. Now the two of them went back to searching for a song. Osami said, if you keep looking like this, the whole night will pass here. I'll choose a song for both of you. So Saku and Rintaro started singing together. Rintaro was singing. It wasn't a big deal, but Osami was surprised that Saku was ready too. It was already very late and his throat was hurting. He said, I don't know what song that foolish Aya picked. Singing that song gave me a sore throat. Then he noticed that their shop was still open, which was a bit strange because at this hour, no one comes to eat cake and his mom always closes the shop early. So why is it still open so late today? Then as he entered, he said, I'm home, but why is the shop still open? You know, no one comes this late. At that moment, he heard a voice of someone he didn't expect. Standing in front of him was Waguri, still in her school uniform. He couldn't believe his eyes. He said, what exactly are you doing here? But before he could say anything more, Waguri bent forward and apologized. She said, I'm sorry. I created such a big drama at school. I'm telling the truth. I had no intention of doing this. I didn't know that the enmity between the two schools was so serious. Rintaro tried to reassure her. It doesn't matter to me. This is completely normal, and it wasn't even your fault. At that moment, her mom arrived and said, why are you coming so late? At least you could have messaged me to let me know that you'll be late. You know how long she has been waiting for you. Waguri was still in her school uniform, which meant she had come straight from school to this shop. So had she just been waiting here for so long? Then her mom said to Waguri, I'm sorry. My son is a little foolish for making you wait so long. I apologize on his behalf. How about I give you some leftover cake? But Waguri refused. No, I've already eaten too much cake. She lied, but her stomach didn't. It started making noises, and she blushed deeply. She apologized. I'm sorry, this was completely out of my control. Her mom laughed heartily. You are so cute. Your stomach is like a black hole when it comes to cake. Not only her mom, but even Rintaro started laughing. Waguri looked at him and said, are you laughing too? I told you it was just an accident. She was feeling a little embarrassed, but then Rintaro said, why don't you stay a little longer? We can eat cake together and chat a bit. Waguri was happy. She got both good things at once, talking to Rintaro and eating cake. She started enjoying her cake comfortably. Rintaro couldn't take his eyes off her. He could see how different she was from other girls, as if she enjoyed every little movement of life. Even while eating a simple piece of cake, she looked so lovely. Then she asked, so how is your friend? My friend hit your jaw really hard, Rintaro said. You mean Osami? Don't worry about him. He's very strong. A little push like that won't hurt him. Hearing this, Waguri felt reassured. She was apologizing for something she had never actually done. This was exactly like her, seeing her own fault in everything. Then he asked, so who were you waiting for outside school? Without hesitation, she said, I was waiting for you. When I opened my classroom curtains, I saw you. So I thought, why not come meet you? Rintaro was surprised. So it's true? She really came there just to meet me? But then she started apologizing again. I was so foolish to come outside your school and create such a big drama. He reassured her, it wasn't your fault at all. And anyway, Osami was the fool who started the fight. He was about to say more, how happy he was, but he stopped himself. I didn't mean, he thought to himself, she will definitely think now that I'm just a silly boy. Then he said, forget everything I said. But the words slipped out of Waguri's mouth as well. No, don't take back your words. Hearing this, both of them started blushing. They were speaking their hearts out without any filter. To change the subject, Rintaro said, aren't you going to eat this cake? She replied, yes, I'm eating it. Then Rintaro said, please, don't come here again. Embarrassed, Waguri said, yes, I shouldn't have come to your school without telling you. But Rintaro said, I'm not just talking about school. Don't ever come to this shop again. Only Rintaro knew how much it pained him to say this, and Waguri was surprised to hear it. Why doesn't he want me to come here again? Did I do something wrong? Then he said, you know why you're in Key High School, right? Hearing this, she became completely quiet. He continued, it's not good for your image if you hang out with a boy from Chidori High School. She said, I was happy. I was happy knowing that you're from Chidori High School. This gave her one more reason to see him every day, and he was surprised. What did it mean that she was happy? Does it not matter that I'm from Chidori High School? What is going on here? Rintaro couldn't understand anything, but before he could think further, the conversation continued. Waguri said, it's already very late, so I should go home. Bowing her head, she walked toward her home. Rintaro tried to stop her, but she just smiled at him and said, I wanted to know about you and I was truly happy that you're from Chidori High School. But this smile wasn't like her previous smile. It was completely fake, as if she was sad and trying to hide that sadness. Rintaro couldn't believe it. She had stolen the smile of an innocent girl. Then his mom asked, "Where did Waguri go?" Rintaro didn't reply. Seeing his condition, his mom got scared herself. "What happened to you?" Then he told his mom everything. She flicked his forehead and said, "First of all, how did you let her go alone? You know what happened last time with her?" He said, "I wanted to go, but I was very confused. Why does she want to know about me?" Then his mom said, "I'll have to explain this to you in detail again. Think about it. What a good boy you are. You never fight, you never hit anyone, you just want everyone to be happy, yet everyone hates you. Why? Just because you look a little scary. People judge you only by your looks. Believe it or not, it must have always hurt you. Every time, wondering why everyone hates you when you're not even that bad. But today you became just like those people. Since then, you've been nitpicking everything as if that girl committed some crime by going to that school. Have you ever heard from her mouth that you're from Chidori High and we shouldn't meet anymore? She's still treating you the same way she always did, but your whole behavior has completely changed. In your eyes, has she just fallen because she went to that school?" Slowly, her eyes began to open. Her mom showed her the mirror, and flashbacks started coming, how not just girls, but boys too had come hating him, thinking he looked so scary, how bad it is. But until now, no one ever tried to understand him. And every time, it hurt him so much. Why are people so cruel? Why don't they want to know me? Does it matter how scary I look? What really matters is who I am, inside. He had always thought about how he truly was on the inside. But today, he himself caused this. He hurt Waguri just because she was from Key High School. It didn't matter that their schools had been enemies. For years, he threw a punch with all his strength, even drawing blood, and thought, "Mom is absolutely right. He is just like me, just as people run away from me. Because I look scary, I've been keeping my distance from Waguri simply because she's from Key High School." That poor girl must have felt so bad. Then the next day's scene shows Waguri walking, and this time she wasn't happy at all. It's as if all her happiness had died. She looked extremely sad, as if anyone asking what happened would make her burst into tears. But Waguri is surprised when she sees Rintaro standing in front of her. She asks, "What are you doing here?" He says, "I came early this morning so I could meet you here. Can we talk?" She was a little nervous, and then he apologized to her. He said, "Forgive me. Last night, I hurt you without thinking. I shouldn't have said all those things." Waguri looked a bit surprised. She asked, "What do you mean? You hurt me? I didn't take anything you said the wrong way." Then Rintaro said, "You didn't say anything, but the face you made before leaving, I could tell. It hurt you a lot. That innocent smile, it wasn't on your face. And seeing that, I completely broke inside." Now, Waguri sat down and started crying. Rintaro didn't know what to do. He said, "What suddenly happened to you? Did I say something wrong again?" But the reason she was crying was because she felt bad, because the face she made when leaving had made Rintaro so tense. She said, "Yes, I was sad, I felt bad, but I didn't want you to know. I shouldn't have left without saying anything. I behaved so rudely with you, and on top of that, you were so worried that you even came early this morning to apologize to me. And all of this, it's my fault. If I hadn't made that sad face yesterday, you wouldn't have been so tense. Because of me, you had to take so much stress. Please forgive me." Then Rintaro also apologizes. "This isn't your fault. The fault was mine." Rintaro thinks that ever since he met Waguri, she has always spoken the truth to him. She never feels embarrassed about telling the truth, whether it's that she isn't afraid of him or that she wants to know more about him. It's as if she doesn't care about the rest of the world. So why should I worry about others? I should confess my feelings too. Then he says, "It's true that our schools have been lifelong rivals, but you know why I told you never to meet me? Because we often criticize Key High School. I had no problem with that until I realized that you are also one of them." He thought, now, if they criticize that school, it feels like they are criticizing you, and I absolutely cannot tolerate that. I don't want you to get into trouble because of me. I was just thinking that leaving aside my school, even your own schoolmates, wouldn't accept you, but I was a huge fool. I take back all my words. I realized I shouldn't judge friendship based on which school someone goes to. Now, it doesn't matter to me which school you attend. What matters is that you are a good girl, and I want to know more about you. And not only that, I was extremely happy when I found out that you were waiting for me. Hearing this, Wagari also became very happy, and now she started smiling. Her innocent smile had returned. She said, "You were absolutely right. I am Wagari Cow, and you are Rintaro. That's what matters. It doesn't matter which school we are from, and I will be happy if we learn more about each other." Deep down, he was happy seeing her smile. Now, both of them had exchanged numbers, and he apologized for closing the curtain on her face yesterday. But Waguri said, "It's no big deal. It's just a normal thing." Now he decided that he would come early every morning just so he could see Waguri. She would jump around like a little child when she saw him, as if she was extremely happy. Rintaro wondered why, but whenever Waguri was in front of him, the entire world around him became colorful. And this episode ends here. The next episode will be available next Sunday. If you haven't watched the first part, you can go and watch it.